Welcome back, folks, to Season 2 of Cowboy Cartel, the podcast that delves into all things hats, boots, and everything Western related. We've got some exciting sponsors on board this season. First up, American Hat Company. Proud to be an American, proud to wear an American. American Hat Company is the official hat of Cowboy Cartel. And if you're looking for that perfect fit, look no further than Joby's Hats, our official hat shaper. Visit them in Fort Worth, Texas, or check them out online, jobyshats.com. But that's not all. We've got some exciting news. Don't forget to check out our brand new t-shirt line available for order now at cowboycartelgroup.com. And for those hat enthusiasts, we've got some fantastic new hat patches to add that touch of style to your favorite lid. So grab your hats, put on your boots, and let's dive into another season of Cowboy Cartel, the podcast, where we explore the captivating world of all things hats, boots, and Western culture. Welcome back to Cowboy Cartel, the podcast, Season 2, and this is Episode 2. And today we have with us our special guest, Chad from Smackdadious, fellow YouTuber and boot aficionado. Chad, welcome to the show.
It's good to be welcome, man.
So this is not the first time we met. We actually met in San Antonio about 3 weeks ago, right?
I don't know. That was my body double.
Oh, okay. So he and I talked about doing a podcast, and we talked about getting you up here, and here you are. And tell me, what hat are you wearing today?
Well, glad you asked. This is a Resistol 40X, and no, I didn't look in there because I didn't know what it was. It's just a force of habit whenever I talk about the hat I'm wearing. But it is a Resistol 40X. Normally retails about $640. I got it on sale at D&D in San Marcos. Oh, not San Marcos. I got it in D&D in Seguin. Two S towns that are right next to each other. But I got it for $340.
Nice, not bad price. Unfortunately, it's not allowed on the show. This is an American hat company. No, it's not really.
Well, where's my free hat, right?
Free hat, yes.
Free hat.
We need to ask American where the free hat is. We should do that. We should say, hey, can you guys give us a hat for every guest who's not wearing an American hat?
I'd be down.
Honestly,
is it reoccurring? Can you come back? Hey,
I
I'm
know,
not wearing
right?
a hat.
You just keep bringing the
Life
Resistol
hack.
back. Yeah, life hack, right? So, American Hat Company and Joby's Hats are both huge supporters of Cowboy Cartel and this program. So we want to thank them, and we're sorry that he's not wearing an American hat.
Hey, man, sorry. I'm just not part of the cool kids club. I might get there someday.
We're teasing. Honestly, it's a great hat. I looked at it today. It's a great feeling hat. How old is that? Is it?
To me, I just got it about a week or so ago.
Oh, nice. So when we were in San Antonio, we stopped at Herb's Hats, and you were looking at Americans and some Rodeo Kings too. So,
Yeah.
What made you decide on? Was it just the price? Because I mean, that's a good price for a 40X hat.
Yeah.
40X, or did you say?
Yeah,
30?
it's 40X, and for that price, it makes me cough. I had a little tickle in my throat. I'm so excited about the cost of this. Yeah, I saw it, and it fit me. And for $340 for a 40X, I know that's pretty arbitrary number, but arbitrary ranking. But dude, for that price, I couldn't pass it up.
Well, honestly, I don't know a whole lot about Stetson and Resistol. I know a lot about them because I used to shape at Cavender's, and everything that went through there was pre-creased Stetson Resistols 7X or 6X. Sorry. You would see every once in a while 100X. Somebody would come in and buy 100X, but they're pre-shaped. Or even the 20X black gold Resistol, pre-shaped hat. So basically, all you're doing is adjusting a brim for somebody. So that's the extent of my knowledge. Now, obviously, I've spent a ton of time and resources on American, and I could tell you anything about all of their qualities. Today, I'm wearing an American Silver Belly in 500X, which is all beaver belly hair. So we've gone into that. If you haven't seen, kind of how we've talked about the different X factors for American, you can look that up on the American Hat Company Enthusiast Facebook group, and it's pinned to the top. It tells you all about the X factors for American, and it is adjusted as needed. So anyway, so tell us, what do you know about the X factors for Resistol? Anything?
Not so much. There was a hat shaper there that, like out in Seguin, you wouldn't expect a pretty good hat shaper. He's been to Joby's. He knows all about that. He was a professional hat shaper, like for companies. He shaped hats and whatnot, and he's more big into Rodeo King because they've just done him right, and whatever. We can get into that later. The point is, he knew a little bit about this Resistol, and it's like about 30% beaver, rough, hard to tell, but when it comes to quality per American, I'd say anywhere between 20 and the 40. So
okay,
about that range.
And I think when you're at that level, the 20X black gold, is kind of always been a measuring stick for Resistol, but it's been a measuring stick for kind of the whole industry. The black gold, the 20X Resistol has, from the 1980s, I've seen them come into the shop even today, and they're a fantastic hat. So we're not saying anything bad about any other brands. A lot of places make great hats and still do. So it's a good looking hat. I like the color. It looks good on you. So did you buy that open crown?
Yes.
Okay. And so let's talk about the crown, the elephant in the room. You always wear kind of a Gus.
Yes, sir. It's just kind of my go-to now. The brim shape kind of changes. My mainstay is the Gus shape. That's just really what I like to wear. It's what my dad wore for a while, and I had started out with a cattleman crease, but then I tried out the Gus, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and I find myself every hat I get, I want a Gus.
Speaking of Gus, hang on a second. You talk to these guys. I'm going to go grab this.
Okay. Hey, how's it going, man? Or ma'am. Cool meeting you here. Oh, good, you're back.
Yeah. You taking over the show?
Oh, yeah. I own half of the company now, and you are now... Fired with prejudice.
Perfect. Makes my life a lot easier. So this is an American straw. This is my hat. It is a Gus. This is my first Gus. I have made many Gusses, but you actually gifted me this hat, and I appreciate it. So, I wear American, and it's even my size. So I appreciate that. This will be my first Gus, and I can't wait to wear it next year in straw season. As a matter of fact, what are we in the middle of September right now? Mm-hmm. September 23rd, I think.
Yes, it's Saturday, 23rd.
September 23rd. Yeah. Today, when we're filming this, and it's 100 degrees outside in Texas.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 100 degrees for the next week, at least in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
It's better than 106 like it has been.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's 106, 107 for, 3 months?
Yeah. I didn't have any full beaver hats. And that's something we can talk about if you want to go into that, or we can touch on that later.
Sure, we can talk about
all right,
all beaver hats.
One thing I've noticed is, for my felt hats, my first personal felt hat that I had was Radio King 10X. And going up from my dad's, I think it's an Eddie. I don't know what it was, but it's a wool felt. And, you know the feeling, like kind of like cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
But going up to that and like, okay, this is a nice hat. I bought that one 2019, I think, somewhere around there, and it was about $250. Prices have increased since then.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought, okay, I'm in the realm of a good hat. And then I saw your hat. You showed me, what was it, a 200 or 500X?
But I showed you all three. So I showed you two 500s.
But when we're at San Antonio.
Oh, what was I wearing in?
Oh, I think
you're talking about...
Yeah, at the shop.
Yeah, I think that was a 200X silver belly, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
But it's just feeling that hat, not even putting it on. You can just tell how light it was. And really, the beaver is such a different beast when it comes to hat make. And putting on this 40X, it's so much lighter. I can wear it around compared to the other one. I couldn't wear it. I just sweat my butt off. And just kind of opened my eyes to the next rung of what quality actually is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I feel like the higher the X up to 100% beaver, it's more breathable and more wearable. So after 100X or 100% beaver, it just becomes a different blend of beaver, you know?
Yeah.
So the hair just becomes a little finer, and all that really does is go to the finish of the hat. You know, so anywhere from 100X, 200X, 500X in the American line is all beaver. But it's really only the finish. 100X hat, all beaver hat, is going to be wear pretty much the same. The silver belly tends to finish a little finer across all the way down the line to 10X. So it's going to be a lighter hat and it's going to be a little smoother. There's so much to get in. I could talk about it for days, you know, because there's so much involved in it. But I do think at least 100% beaver, it's thinner, it's lighter, and it's cooler to wear. And for me, the silver belly on a hot day is probably the ultimate hat. If you're gonna wear felt on a hot day, a silver belly is kind of like the coolest hat to wear. Not only because it looks good, but it's just, you know, it's cooler.
Ha
ha. Anyway, sorry.
I mean, that was my whole kind of thing. I'm still learning about cowboy hats. As most people on this channel and the Facebook group probably know a lot more than me. I'm not the authority here, but
you do know a lot about cowboy boots. You've that's kind of been so. Let's talk about your channel and kind of how I became aware of you. I saw a couple years ago you've done some kind of videos that have really kind of blown up. One of which was hat etiquette, and I think that's great because it really, in a fun way, let all of these new people who are wearing cowboy hats know kind of the etiquette of wearing a cowboy hat. Because why don't you just tell us a few of the cowboy hat etiquettes that maybe some people don't know or who have not seen the video. And if you haven't seen the video, I'm going to put a link to it if you're watching this on YouTube down in the comments section. So,
I mean, as I get older and wiser, like I said in the video, I'm really glad I put it that way. They're more like guidelines, and you can bend the rules in a sense, but there are some places where it's like where to take off a hat. If you walk into the grocery store, keep that on, you know? Or you go into a restaurant, I'm not putting my hat down where there isn't a dedicated place to put my hat. If I'm eating by myself, sure, there might be like a chair off to the side right there. Okay, put it there. But we don't have hat racks here that we can just put it on, and you can touch on that in a second. But taking off your hat when you go into church, I walked into, this is a little side tangent, I walked into the Alamo, into the actual chapel. I took off my hat. There were people in there, even with cowboy hats, still wearing it. Just the amount of disrespect, I was kind of in disbelief. It's just like, I don't know, a ball cap, maybe, I guess I can understand that, but they were wearing a cowboy hat in the Alamo in the chapel, and they still had their hat on. But I digress. Messing with someone else's hat, that's a no-go, man. Just don't mess with their hat. These things are expensive, and it's a weird bond. It's not like a man and his horse. I've only dealt with horses a few times when I was younger, so I'm not really the guy to talk about that, but there's just something about a man and his hat, and you don't mess with that. It could be the hat was given to him by someone special that isn't around anymore. It's sentimental, and you want to fight. Go touch him another man's hat, knock it off his head. You're in for a fight. Also, there's a little ribbon. You probably can't see it from here, but back here that shows you which way is front and back. With a Gus, it's a pretty easy hack. It's easy to know which way is front and which way is back. But don't worry backwards. It's not like a ball cap. You're not cool.
Well, and that's okay. So a couple things there I want to talk about.
Yeah.
One is, and remind me, the hat racks.
Yes.
But another is wearing a hat backwards. So it's so funny. Joby and I were talking, and I don't even know if I want to put this on camera, but Joby and I were talking. We were at a concert, George Strait concert, and it's funny. He looked down, and it's like 100 yards away. There's a guy. He says, "See that guy, third row back, second seat in, hats on backwards." I mean, I was like, "What? Where?" But yeah, it happens. I mean, people don't always wear a hat, and they don't know where. Mm-hmm. My wife and I were in Tombstone, Arizona, in July. I think it was July, and we were walking down the main street in Tombstone, and there's a guy with a hat on backwards, and I kind of went up to him and I said, "Hey man, just to let you know, the hat's on backwards," real quiet. And he's like, "Oh, thanks." But it's kind of funny. People who don't know, it's helpful for that video that you produced to tell people that.
Yeah, we're not mean-spirited about it at all. It's just
absolutely.
like poke a little fun, but that's just kind of part of it. Okay, chuckle, ha-ha, and then you learn something, hopefully.
Right. And the buckle, the buckle goes on your left.
Yeah.
So that's another really good way to tell. So, but the hat racks, and I agree with you 100%. I'm not taking my hat off if there's any. Here's a good case in point. Lionel Ben David from Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiast, another fellow YouTuber. He had like a buckskin or a really light colored, almost a silver belly rodeo king, and he went to dinner with his family at like an Olive Garden or some Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And he takes the hat off and he puts it in the booth upside down. Somehow, either the waiter, I forget this story, but somebody splashed olive oil all over the hat. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I heard, I just heard him tell it, and he was quite upset. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
And so, how do you get that out? Oil is one of and on a light colored hat. It's
oil's how you dye stuff. Like, that's how you have finish.
Right. And so, like, you can have dirt on your hands and you get it on the hat, and it's easy, a sponge or something like that. Or, if it's really bad, you can sand it. But like oil, if that could go all the way through. And
a stain is a stain, man.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so my whole point was, I don't, if I'm eating somewhere like you and there's no place to put my hat, I'm not taking it off. Now in Mexico, we talked about this because we were at a Mexican restaurant in San Antonio together, and we had the conversation about the hats. And in Mexico, almost every restaurant they bring a hat rack to the table. And my wife always uses it for, her purse. They usually bring it over to the ladies so they can put their purse or whatever on. But it's a great place to hang a cowboy hat. So, and I would love to. I have seen that here. I forget where we were. I think we were in Tucson, Arizona, and they had that same thing. And so that's, I would love to see that at every restaurant here, especially in Texas.
Yeah. All right. So, what restaurant did you see that here? You said, in Arizona, right?
Yeah, it was Tucson, Arizona. Okay. I think we were at. I think we were at a taco place. I think it was a Mexican restaurant, but it was one of those Gucci taco places. It wasn't. It was. I think it was
like a Casa Maria or something, or it's actually just kind of upscale, or is it like?
Well, it was open air. Go place your order at the counter, and they bring it out to you, and it was $65 for 6 tacos. So one of those places.
Oh, that ain't for me.
We have them here in San Antonio. We have them here in Fort Worth too.
Yeah.
we went to some taco place and you know, you could get a chicken and waffle taco where the taco shell was actually made out of waffle. You know, so I mean, it's just, you know, I see the meme all the time. You don't eat Mexican food north of Dallas or.
I call it Panhandle Tex-Mex.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm lucky to have spent a lot of time in Mexico and eaten a lot of really good Mexican food. And my wife is a good connoisseur of Mexican food. Obviously, she can judge a restaurant as soon as we walk in and whether it's, you know, a good place to eat or authentic or not. So, but yeah, Tex-Mex is different.
There's also different varieties. What I like to say, I like to judge them based off their cheese enchiladas, their salsa, and their queso, and that's mainly what I eat. I love it, so I don't get anything else. If I want a taco, I'll just go to like Taco Bell. I don't care. But like enchiladas, I'm really particular about. You know, the type where it has the cheddar cheese on the inside. It's just, not great. And then, what was it? Chewy's or I don't know. It used to be good, and I went there a couple years back, and hey, can I get some salsa? All right, they gave me some pico de gallo.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's not salsa. What?
No, it's not. And you know,
I didn't want a salad.
So, you know, for me, all I've known as salsa all my life is like, you know, pace, you know, or Tostitos or whatever, you know, the salsa in a jar. That's not salsa in Mexico, you know. Salsa is sauce, and generally it's, you know, it's various varieties of hot sauce, you know. So it's completely different. But I still love American style salsa, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's plenty that it just doesn't have a very strict definition to it. You just got to go to places and try them.
No, yeah, absolutely. You know, Tabasco is salsa. You know, I mean, it's just weird. Ketchup is salsa.
I don't believe you. You're lying to me.
About ketchup?
And no, that's salsa. Is that stuff you get at
right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you would think, but you know, the definition of salsa is sauce. You know. I don't know. I would have to ask my wife, but I would assume spaghetti sauce is salsa.
It's just like condiment or sauce.
Yeah. I mean, I could be completely wrong, you know, but I don't think
From my experience, no.
No, yeah. All right. So anyway, that covers the tacos. And so we talked about you are actually we went into some of your other videos where your hat etiquette, but you also did how to buy a cowboy hat or a hat. What was it? Tell me some of your
how to pick out a cowboy hat.
That's right, and kind of shapes, right? How to pick the shape for you or something like that, or
yeah. I think that was one of it. Thing about picking the shape, a lot of it actually comes down to like your facial structure, your build type, and it really depends. And also personal preference. If you want to wear a really wide bucket or a West Texas punch in your like toothpick, sure. If that's what tickles your fancy, that's okay. But
yeah, I like a lot of shapes, and there are a lot of shapes where, especially like the horseshoe. I love the horseshoe, and I would say I would love to have one. Am I ever going to wear it? I mean, probably not. I might wear it to an event, something, you know, like a concert or something special. But is it really something I'm going to wear? Is it something I should have? Probably not. You know, to me, it's a fashion hat. My hat shapes have kind of gone through a progression. It started with a really curled edge, the whole edge, not just a howdy ma'am. You know, the whole edge was really curled in.
A pencil curl kind of?
No. Just kind of just really awful.
Okay. I've seen something like that. Where it's just...
and then howdy ma'ams. I really like the howdy ma'ams on, especially the silver belly. And this one used to have it. This has been fixed to kind of my normal shape. This is my normal shape, which is almost ready to change. Probably. I think I need to be a little bit wider.
It's like the George Strait, right?
Huh?
Like the George Strait.
George Strait. I'm not so much. I'm You think it's George Strait?
I mean, kind of looks like George Strait to me.
To me, no. He's I think he's wider and kind of way more shallow angles, so he's kind of open more. But I think I'm ready to go a little wider in the front, so maybe an inch. At first, I didn't like the wide shapes, and I mean some of them, 11 inches. That's really wide, and those are the ones you really can't tell whether they're frontward or backwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what did it for me was the American evergreen that I got. I didn't know what I wanted, and I wanted to allow Emilio at Double R Hat House kind of the freedom to just make something for me, because basically I had all the hats I wanted, and this was kind of a way to showcase his shaping, and he did something for me that turned out fantastic. Really love the shape on it. It's a little bit wider than this, about an inch, and I really dig it. As a matter of fact, I wore it last night.
It's kind of funny. I'm kind of the opposite. My first Rodeo King that I had, I got it, out here and kind of straight up, and it was a lot more drastic of a shape, and just got to a point I'm like, dude, I look ridiculous. So I went more kind of conservative on the brim width up front.
Yeah, and a Gus is it's not a traditional Gus brim that you're wearing.
Kind of more like Chris Stapleton, where it's kind of like a rolled in the front a little bit.
To me, a Gus is kind of dipped in the front and the back. That's just my interpretation of a Gus, but it can be anything you want. The Gus is the crown.
Yeah, that's whenever I hear a name, I mainly look at the crown. Mm-hmm. The brim can be whatever you want it to be, in my opinion.
What do we want to talk about next? Boots, because right now, I think lately, all of your videos, or most of your videos, are about Western wear and a lot of boots. You've kind of really kind of delved in and kind of made yourself a boot connoisseur or boot expert.
I ain't no boot expert by any means.
You don't have to call yourself that. I called him that, so take it.
I don't agree with it, but I know more than I thought I ever would.
Right. And we did a lot of talking about boots off camera. So what do we got? We brought some boots, and
yeah.
Well, let's tell us about what you got.
All right. I got a couple videos coming up that have been in the works for quite some time, and I just can't find the time to go ahead and record them. I got part of them recorded, like some B-roll shots, but that's about it. You're going to see in the video my little front porch segment. It's so hot outside, I'm going to go inside, and it's probably going to be released in like December or something. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's really hot outside, goober.
Well, you do live down in South Texas, so it's a little warmer down there than it is here, and it stays warmer longer. So
yeah, and when the fronts come, it hits here first, and then it goes down and it hits me. But so one of the boots I got, this is a Heritage Rough Out. Pretty, I know. I really can't tell how much detail you can really see, but I'm not going to risk the focus by shoving it into the camera. But I went over there.
We can take some still pictures, or you can send me some still pictures, and I can throw them in.
All right. I got this early this year, 2023, and I went in there, got it shaped. This is actually a 9. I'm a 10B, and it fits really good. The only problem is the arch support is a little too far back for my feet, so I can't wear it very often or long, but it's more comfortable than some other boots. I like the heel counter on it, but it's very sturdy. It doesn't give, but...
So it's interesting. We actually talked about this. Heritage Boots is in Austin, Texas, and they have Mexican-made boots, but they're kind of artisan-made. Yeah. So they're really high quality. And I actually went in there last year, and I walked in, and there's signs everywhere that says "Don't touch the boots," and they're all over the shelves. And I was like, this is kind of uncomfortable. just going to leave. And which is unfortunate because after looking at this boot, man, it's pretty fantastic. The craftsmanship that goes into it. And this is something where you kind of have to see several boots together, or at least know what you're looking at to kind of understand this. And so this kind of, yeah, there you go.
Compare 'em.
Well, I mean, this is
That's two extremes.
it's a huge extreme. So, I mean, I can take pictures, but if you look, the waist of this is an Anderson bean. Everybody knows Anderson bean. This is actually not a wide square toe Anderson bean. This is a cutter toe Anderson bean. Without even looking at the toes, the waist of the boot, it's really wide waist versus a really narrow waist, which is more refined. But not only that, the thickness of the material or the sole at that point in the waist. This is very narrow. It's almost got a fiddle in the waist here. There's just a lot of work that went into making this boot. I thought I had some.
Which one?
Lucchese's. I thought I had some Lucchese's. Lucchese, if you look at this next to Lucchese also has that narrow waist, and it is a more refined boot. However, this is even
Pretty similar.
yeah. So you have the narrow waist here, but this is just so much more refined. It's such a really fine angle there, and I'm kind of impressed with that. And I'll let you put that back on. What is this one? What are we wearing here?
I'm wearing the Honcho. This is their smooth ostrich. I don't remember what they call it, but
That's
I
all
want
right.
to cut that out.
That's okay. We can get it, no problem. I'm actually wearing Hey Dudes today because I'm in my home and I can. If we're gonna go out to the stockyards, I think after this, and I will be wearing boots, so no problem.
Good, hopefully.
But so yes, I think everybody knows I'm all about American-made products, but I think you have a really good quality product there. I don't hate Mexican-made boots. I have at least 2 pair of Mexican-made boots. And as long as they're not made in China, I think that's, I would love to support Texas-made, but I mean, that's an awesome product right there. I definitely need to try them. And what else did you bring?
Did I bring anything else?
Oh, Anderson beans. Yes, these are the Anderson beans. I have them over here. So Anderson bean elephant, which I had a pair of Anderson bean hippo. They were okay, but they were wide square toe. It's not my favorite, so I no longer have those. I did a video on those.
Yeah.
We were also talking about vintage boots. Vintage boots right now, it's a great way to get into a high-end pair of boots made in America at a significantly reduced price.
Significant. Like, for real.
Yeah. To give you an idea, I do have a video on this coming out. This is a Nakona boots made in America. I don't know if you can see the tag. I do have a video on this because I got these boots for $25. And
That's ridiculous.
right? And it does have a half sole. It's been resold. But they were rough, and I took them and made a $25 pair of boots look like a decent pair of boots, So, and it really only required a little bit of time to do it, not, taking them somewhere and paying a bunch of money to fix a $25 pair of boot. But I did the same thing. I've got a pair of Lucchese San Antonios from 1984, made in San Antonio, Texas. I think I paid $125 for those. They looked like they'd only been worn to a wedding in 1984 and then put it on a shelf somewhere. So it did not take just a lot of conditioning to get those back. Speaking of conditioning and leather care products, what do you use? Because I Obviously, I have kind of harped on this forever about boot trees. I have a pair of boot trees in every pair of boots. I have been on a quest for the perfect conditioner. I have gone through many. I have one that I particularly like right now. I use Saphir color products for coloring. What about you? What do you use? What do you think about boot care?
I actually brought my kit. You want me to bring it here?
Sure. Let's see.
All right. All right.
Hold, please.
Don't look at my behind cameras. I know you all on YouTube. You can cut that out. So really for a conditioner, I just kind of use Big Four.
Big Four. I mean, it's every Western store checkout has a bottle of Big Four if you need one, and it's super cheap. It's what, like $9 or something like that, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's really an inexpensive product, and it works.
Made in America. I think it's made in Michigan.
Yep. Michigan.
Yeah. I did some research on Bic a long time ago, just because. The stuff I'm using right now is Cali Leather Life. It's made in Louisiana. It smells good. It works fantastic. Shit, I'll go get it. Hang on.
All right.
Because you probably haven't seen it.
No. Well, now that he's gone, it could be just you and me. Yeah. All right. How's it going? How was your day?
Where is my...
You having a good day? Well, if you're not, just know. It'll get better. I guarantee it. Oh, he's coming back.
All right, what have you been telling them?
Oh, nothing. Nothing but bad things.
Right? So, Cali Leather Life, I made a quick video on this, and man, it's really fantastic. Take a look. It's really hard to find.
Protein lotion.
Right?
Made of protein?
Well,
I'm working out.
I
now.
don't know what it's made of. It smells really good.
I see protein. I want to drink it.
Give it a sniff. So it's funny. Everybody knows. What does everybody know?
I don't like that smell.
You don't like it?
It reminds me of when I was in theater in school, and just the makeup. I don't
Really?
like that.
Okay. Well, interesting. I think it smells way better than Big Four.
I like the smell.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I don't mind it.
And honestly, the smell doesn't really matter too much because
No, because it's gonna be gone.
yeah. So help me out here. I'm drawing a blank. Huge Austin, Texas bootmaker, custom bootmaker.
Oh, Texas Customs?
Texas Traditions.
Texas Traditions.
Right.
I know. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, so I saw a video short he did on...
Wasn't Charlie Dunn?
No, but I saw a short he did, and it wasn't even about the Cali Leather Life, but it was about fixing an old pair of boots that a customer brought in.
I think I saw that video.
And he was using Cali Leather Life, and I said, all right, well, if it's good enough for this guy who
Lee Miller.
Yeah, he's been in business forever and is arguably
Is.
the best, one of the best custom makers in the industry. If it's good enough for him, I'm going to try it, and I did, and I love it. The only problem is it's really hard to get.
Mm-hmm. And
I've contacted these guys at least 3 times trying to get a distributorship for my website because, I love it. They haven't returned my call. So it's probably a small company. It is what it is.
Well, I mean,
but
small company, maybe not. It's just, you try to call Boot Barn and they won't answer.
Right.
I mean, not that I give them a call, but.
Right. So, Cali Leather Life, if you're out there, if you happen to see this, I'm going to tag you in it. Call me back.
Call me.
Okay, call me.
I'm the one who don't like the smell. Partner with me.
Yeah. So, Big Four, what else?
just a kind of hodgepodge of stuff, man. For my actual like wax, I don't really use wax much anymore, but kiwi.
Okay.
It's fine.
I use wax for if I'm gonna burnish a toe or something like that. I don't use a lot of wax unless.
Yeah, it makes them less breathable.
Yeah.
But
It can cause cracking too. If you put it too far back up on the vamp of the boot.
I've never had that problem.
Well, it will cause over time the bending where that is. It doesn't allow the conditioner to get in there, and it can cause cracking. So that's why you really only want to kind of polish the toe. That's when you see like the military shine. It's always on the toe, and you try not to get back too far.
Yeah, unless you're wearing like these ostrich, like they shine pretty good, and I just put Big 4 on them.
Yeah.
I put Big 4 on it, and they're shiny. But I also been just using like boot cream.
I prefer a cream.
Yeah.
And it's usually got some kind of a wax in it too. But it's not a heavy wax,
Yeah. I've been also looking for more natural, just stuff that allows the leather to breathe. I'll stop fidgeting with that. But just stuff that doesn't have to be like natural, as long as it helps the leather be healthy. It's not alive, but keeps it from preserving it. That helps preserve it and keep it in great condition.
Right. And conditioning, to me, conditioning a boot is probably the most important thing. If you we talked about the little Casey San Antonios I have, a 40-year-old boot almost, actually exactly 40 years almost, yeah, exactly, whatever. 40-year-old boot, and it was used very little. Original sole, you can almost still read Lucchese on the bottom of it when I got it, but it has micro cracks in the vamp. How does that happen? Well, it happens because it was sat on a shelf for 40 years, and it was not taken care of. So conditioning, so basically there's nothing you can do with that. You wear it and until it's, done, because you can't fix the micro cracks. They're just going to get bigger.
You see that all the time with the vintage boots. My dad's has that. It's just, you don't take care of them, and that's just what happens. Also, you got to make sure you clean it. Not as often, but saddle soap.
Yep.
Kiwi.
You'll see that in the video if I ever get it done. It's done. I just need to kind of edit it and do voiceover of these Nakona boots. I first took them, and they were so dirty, I took saddle soap and put them in the sink, and just kind of brush the crap out of them. And I do that to any kind of boots that, I get secondhand that are just kind of trashed, or it's a good way to clean all of it. Saddle soap will take all of the, not only dirt, but it'll take all of the wax off of it too. So if you need to strip it down, you don't have to run water over it. You can use saddle soap and a rag and just wipe it off. But anyway. Gracias.
What?
Gracias.
What are you saying?
Come on, man. You live in Texas. If you don't speak a little Spanish in Texas, you got to speak a little, right?
I'll say it in a language you understand. No.
You know how to say taco?
¿Qué?
Cerveza?
¿Qué?
No? Okay.
No sé, señor. Yo soy de rancho. Not really. I'm not I guess a rancher, yeah. Kind of. So not much right now. Right now I'm all boy, no cow. But,
all boy, no cow.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some exotics that you have and that you kind of, we talked off camera, some things you're wanting. You're looking for a pair of rattlesnake, but it's specific, right? You want like the diamondback, but you need either a cutter toe or a snip toe.
Yeah.
So because you wear a lot of snip toe, right?
Yeah, I wear a lot of snip toe and cutter toe. I don't like wide square toe, and the R toe I don't like. I don't know. I like more, to me, it's kind of like a Coke bottle aesthetic, you know? It's that classic silhouette that I like, and it's so much cleaner, and it is so distinct from a shoe.
Yeah.
And that's what I like a lot. And especially when it comes to exotics like a, your typical caiman, alligator, crocodile, semantics. Well, but I think that the shape, the more angular shape and more drastic snip works great, like a tail, or it just looks like it's more aggressive, but refined in a way. And our toe is fine, but why would you have that in an horn tail?
What's the R toe?
Our toe is like medium R, medium round toe. It's not quite the U toe that's like this. It's more refined and.
Okay, so
It's like this.
that's an R toe.
This is an R toe.
Okay.
This is better than some of them, but it's just I would like it closer to a J toe, which comes closer to a point. Imagine the snip toe, but it's round.
Okay.
And it's a lot more fine. To me, I think it just dresses it up. It is tighter, cleaner, more, how would I say, aesthetic look to it.
And this is all personal preference.
Yeah.
That's why they
Yeah.
make.
Yeah.
That's why they make so many different types of toes, because people like different things. Personally, I do not like a wide square toe. Personally, I'm not going to wear a snip toe because it just, to me, it's not what I like.
All good.
I love a cutter toe, Blue Casey 7 toe.
Yeah.
I have gotten to the point where I really like the R toe now. That's just because buying a lot of these vintage boots, that's what they were back in the day,
Yeah.
So, that's what the availability is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that available. So yeah, and I like them. I wear the crap out of those Lucchese San Antonios now, and they're
French toe.
an R toe. No, they're an R toe. Yeah.
No, those are a French toe. It has a slightly squared off sole and the.
Oh
front.
no, so those are not the San Antonios. Those are the Devons, the ones I had with the burnished toe.
I don't think oh wait, maybe I did.
Hang on.
Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, it's y'all and me again. I don't really have much to say. Love many, trust few. Paddle your own canoe. All right, he's coming back. Yep, that's an R2. Yeah.
Okay. So these are the Lucchese San Antonios that I bought for like $125. That like original sole. I've worn the crap out of them now, so they do look worn, but you can see those 40-year-old pair of boots.
See, I like that. That's a lot more kind of tapered in.
Yeah.
It's the tapering in that has. Again, I keep putting the Coke bottle aesthetic. It's just the curves. And when it's just too wide here, it just, to me, reminds me of a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I don't like how far up the toe box is. I don't like how far up the toe box is. Toe bug. I don't like how far up the toe bug is. We can...
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't like how the toe bug is in the toe box. I think it should be a little further up. But...
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that.
And yeah, I'm looking at your boots now. I see how they're much higher. I kind of never thought about that, but it's really there to help with the bending. Yeah, it's to help bend your foot. And it could. I would kind of have to see it on. Where's it wrinkle? So, but you can see that's actually a little more than a micro crack. That's kind of a crack developing there.
Yeah.
But they're comfortable, man. These are comfortable for a 40-year-old pair of boots. They are super comfortable, and I really like them. And they feel good. They feel good on the foot. And it's more refined. It's just a comfortable boot. I do love my Fenolios. And this is another video that I'm going to make. I did a review on these, and I have not done anything to these boots in the last year, and I've worn the crap out of these too. I have not done anything to clean them or anything. I've been trying to put them through their paces and destroy them to show how you can bring them back, but they don't need anything, you know. Other than the
just some edge dressing,
and that's not even bad,
No,
So,
I look about the same.
Anyway, those will be re-reviewed eventually. They're just not refined. They have the blockiness through the waist, and it's not as refined as some of the Lucchese's or Blackjacks or the Heritage. But they're a super comfortable boot and rugged. And I think it's made for somebody who wants a pair of boots that's going to last and it's comfortable and wears a boot all the time.
Yeah.
And at a great value. The price point it's really good. Okay. What's next?
What's next
for your channel? Because I know you've been busy and you haven't kind of gotten, and I've been busy too. I have not been as diligent. Obviously, here we are, season 2, episode 2, which should be, we're doing 2 a month, and we're doing 2 every 3 months. It happens.
We're doing good.
It's hard to get people in here. It's hard to get time and schedule. It's hard to run your life and make this happen. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So, what have you got coming up? I know you've got stuff in the works.
I got some reviews for boots. I was gonna do more like summer content, but it's kind of past summer now.
You did some summer content. I saw some. We talked about this when we were in San Antonio. You talked about what clothes to wear and what to wear boots, when to wear boots.
Can you wear boots in the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you wear boots to the beach.
I have, yes.
Yeah. I don't think I would do that, but
hey, man.
It's personal preference. If you want to wear boots,
I mean, I take them off because I'm going to go in the water,
all right, if you take them off.
Oh, yeah, there's no point. I'm going to be barefoot.
Right.
But, walking to the beach, okay, and then I take them off, and then, yeah.
And we talked about this hiking. I said, if I'm going hiking, because we went hiking the week before we talked, and I said, I wear hiking boots or hiking shoes.
Yeah.
And you said,
cowboy boots, man.
There you go.
I wear them. No matter what it is, I'll find a cowboy boot that fits. I went to Big Bend, and I was wearing cowboy boots.
Nice. So you have a particular style, too. Your videos is almost a persona, but not really.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? It might be a trade secret.
Right.
It's not a secret. I'm just extremely lonely, and I want to see your beautiful faces in the comment section down below.
There you go. There you go.
Did I do good?
You did fine. You did
okay.
Perfect. Okay. Looking for the approval?
Oh, yeah. He won't let me leave until I do a very good job on this.
Yeah. But we're actually going to go see some of Fort Worth stockyards and
some cool places.
And if we don't do anything else, I got to take you to Joby, because I think you're going to enjoy it. And
so we're going there first.
I would like to. I would like you to see Joby. I'd like you to meet Joby. Joby's a huge supporter of this channel. There's another plug right there. Joby and American, huge supporters. We really appreciate both of them and their support. And I'm going to take you to Joby, and I want you to meet Joby, and I want you to see the store. And he's got Resistol too.
I'm not very brand loyal.
No?
In some cases I am, but it's like, I mean, man, this is just a bang up deal I couldn't pass up.
Right.
If I find a hat I like, might get one. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you brought your camera, so maybe we can get some video of the stockyards and stuff. And I don't know what time it is. Yeah, it's 1:00.
Right.
So we got some time.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about before, and I don't want to get you in any trouble. So if we touch on something you don't want to talk about, let me know. But a couple things I want to talk about before we go.
Hop in topics. I love it.
Chisos
Uh-huh.
and your opinion on Chisos. I have my opinion. And Tecovas, because you do work with Tecovas on occasion, and I want to hear your opinions on Tecovas. Everybody knows my opinions on both brands. I've said it, and I'm trying to be better about not saying anything bad about them. The only thing I can say bad about is Ariat. I don't like Ariat.
Yeah, I'm completely honest, and my opinions change, and so does the company's qualities. And with Chisos, I met Will Roman. He's a really good guy. I like him. Fine boots. I just think for the same price or similar price for at least the rough outs, you can get a Heritage, and it's a lot more artisan crafted and more just thought put behind it, and I think it's a better value. Their boots don't really fit me that well, so that's why I don't do that much content with it. I mean, they're fine boots. There's nothing wrong with them, and I'll always, give them a plug. But always see what they come out with. I got no problems with them. One thing, it's like, I do kind of wish they would be made in Texas with their whole Texas branding.
Can I say that?
I didn't bring my Chisos boot with me. I wish I did, but I didn't. But
so, and I've said I like this boot. I like the way it's crafted. What is the price on? So is this suede or is this rough out?
That's rough out.
It's rough out.
It's rough
okay.
out. It's
It's
about
rough out
600.
shaft. Huh?
600.
$600.
And it has goat skin. Not goat skin. Deer skin as a lining in there. That's why it's so soft. You won't get blisters or anything like that.
I like this boot a lot. And $600 for me, okay, you can do stitching like this at a $600 price point when a lot of their boots are really expensive, like $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
And at that price point, for me, I want to see cording or I want to see full embroidery.
Yeah.
I just think I think it's at that level. You should go something. I've seen how stitching is done. You throw it on a machine and you walk away. To me, that's not $1,000 boot.
But where the money comes from isn't really like, you can have $1,000 pair of boot. Like Lee Miller, he can make a boot and it could be plain up here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. No need to get. I'm not being defensive here. I'm just that's how I talk sometimes. So this is a safe space.
Lee Miller, you're paying for his. He's put the time in.
Paying for this in here
and his knowledge.
Yes.
How to do it. Because he's a last maker, and his whole thing is making a boot that fits you like nothing else. And I know how somebody at that level, like if you can go to a Men's Warehouse and buy a suit for $400, but if you buy a suit that is made for you, it feels different. So if you buy a pair of boots, and I'm only imagining because I don't have a pair of Lee Miller boots. I would love to have a pair. But, at that level, it should fit you like, nothing else, nothing you've ever tried on. So we need to do that. We need to call Lee and go get a pair of boots.
Oh, yeah, I'll hit him up. We were going golfing the other day. I hate golf, but, he asked, so I'm like, you know what, I owe you a favor, so.
Yeah. Last time I checked, which was last year, it was a 2-year wait, and I think it was the cheapest pair of boots he made was $2,000. Yeah. It might have been $3,000. It's ridiculous. But it's like these 40-year-old pair of Lucchese's. If you have a boot at that quality and you take care of it, it's going to last you your entire life. It's the last pair of boots you will ever need to buy, not the last pair of boots you will probably buy though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Tecovas.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. Kind of wishy-washy with them. Some things I love. I love their shirts. I do think they're overpriced. for what they are, but I think they're one of the most comfortable shirts to wear in the summer. I think they're fantastic.
Okay. So a couple things there. You commented on one of my videos that or maybe we talked about it, that you had the exact same shirt I was wearing. And I like the Tecovas pearl snaps. I think they're good shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're denim, the gray denim. I have two of them because I like that color and I like that shirt so much.
Never guess what jeans I'm wearing.
Tecovas?
Uh-huh. They're
but
like
no,
40
I like
bucks on sale.
the denim pearl snap.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do like them. I think they're ridiculously overpriced because of what they're $90 now. I think they were $80, something like that.
Yeah. I would say, even if they sell them at $60, that would be fine.
Yes.
But on sale, they're like $48. Like, bang. Get
all day long.
Get it all day long.
So yeah, I like them. Some of them are heavier than others. Some of them are more flannel.
Maybe it was just that specific color in that year. I don't know, because all the other ones are really thin. This is not Tecovas, but it's pretty similar.
What's that?
What does this say? Sendero.
Okay. Never heard of it. I love Eli Cattleman because they're like $20. They're super thin and breathable in the summer. Yeah. I think Eli Cattleman, it's not American made, but who is anymore? Where can you get an American made shirt? I've looked.
This is made in India. At least they know how to make shirts.
Yes, right.
I'd like to. Oh, that came off wrong. I want to cut that out. Oh man, they say I'm from down south, and when I open my mouth, I always seem to put my foot there.
That's all right. We'll just bleep it. I don't know. I don't even know what you said that was bad. At least they know how to make shirts.
That's
not bad. They know how to make shirts.
Yeah, they do. They really do. I was just thinking, like, the way that I was going about it was, at least they know how to make shirts, and kind of like connotating.
Well, I don't know how to make shirts, so at least they know how to make shirts.
I don't know how to make anything. You can just cut out the whole tangent and cut it, and then bring it in right here. It'll be fine. I just
it'll be
terminally
funnier
online sometimes, and I know.
It'll be funnier if we leave it in.
Okay, cool.
I won't make you look bad. It's fine.
Please make me look bad. Cancel me.
Cancel.
Then I don't have to do anything anymore on the internet.
So you do actually have a pretty good following on YouTube. For this market, which is a niche market, you've got to think Jeremiah Craig is probably the biggest name in cowboy boots. Huge. And I don't know what he's at, 30,000? 30,000?
35. He's up there.
Yeah, so you're in the 5,000 range. Yeah. That's a pretty respectable number when you think the biggest YouTuber in this space has got 35,000, which is nothing. There are people out there who have, 900,000 in the last 6 months doing, video games. So I mean, it's a niche market, and it's a respectable number. So, and I've seen your videos before we even met, before we even started talking or chatting on in Messenger or whatever. So, I liked your content. I thought it was great. You do have a particular style, which is different than my style. I mean,
he's saying I'm not professional, and that's okay because I'm not.
I'm not professional. I say stupid stuff all the time that gets me in trouble. People don't like my opinions on boots and American made products, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. You don't have to agree with me. It's just my opinion. I make my hat patches in America. Yeah. I could make them for 25 cents and sell them for $12 and make a huge profit, where I'm making them in America, veteran made, veteran owned company, and my profit margin is not high. Yeah. But they're a great product. I like them. I think it's a quality product, and I love it. And that's just my thinking. And I don't know. I digress now. Anyway, so even my t-shirts are made in America, and that was one thing I wanted the T-shirt made in America. I wanted it printed in Texas,
Yeah.
and so it is, and those are available on my website.
Now, if only you can get some pearl snaps made here in Texas, I'd love that.
I'm working on it. My wife and I are working on some other things. This embroidery is coming. I had a lot of stuff in the works. I do have an Amazon page that it's published, but I have not kind of released it out there yet. I will be doing that soon. That kind of gives the best of everything. You know, these are the best products for boots. These are the best products for hats. These are the best hats. These are the best whatever. You know, that I have done research on. Yeah. And so if you need to know that, it's coming.
All right.
But so there's that. All right, what's next? All right, let's talk about hat racks.
All right.
I know we keep saying let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about one more thing. But there's so much to talk about.
Oh,
you know,
fine.
we could make this.
We can make this a two-parter.
We could make this a two-parter, and you're definitely going to have to come back and so we can talk about some more stuff. But
Okay.
Obviously, this is my new hat rack. I have not done a video on it yet. I still owe these guys a video. The Mark Christopher Collection sent me a hat rack back in December. It came like right before Christmas, and we were moving, and so I never put it up. I put it up in the house, and I did a quick video on it, but it deserves its own video because it's really good. I love it. I love the way that it holds the hats without damaging the hats, and it's obviously dead useful. I need another one because I have hats everywhere. Maybe one right there. That'll be a good backdrop.
It will.
But so how do you store your hats? I think you talked about this in a video one time, but
if I did, I wouldn't remember.
Right. Well, anyway, these guys haven't heard it, or maybe they have. But how do you store hats?
Really depends. Some old ones I just keep them in the box, or I have a hat rack that they're upside down, and you put it on. Or I also have a hat tree, and I just kind of hang it.
Okay, so just casual.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. A lot of my felts in the summer, I store them in hat boxes.
Yeah.
And so Joby and I are going to be doing a video on hat care and maintenance and storage. That'll be coming soon. But I've just recently started storing them with cedar wood planks inside the hat box because, especially here, now that I've moved from Austin to Dallas-Fort Worth, we had this ridiculous, I don't know what you call these bugs, but we call them a roly-poly. It's the little.
Yeah, I know what a roly-poly is.
Okay.
You got them bad up here?
It was ridiculous. You would come out in the morning and they would be all over.
Just like the crickets over there down south? Actually, they're pretty bad here too, aren't they?
I have not seen a lot of crickets here, but in Austin, I was on the second or third floor and I didn't have any problems.
Well, whenever they just fill the cracks in the street, that's how bad they get sometimes.
Well, these things, they would be everywhere. And the problem was I would spray the house and they would come into the house and die. So there would be dead roly-polies like from the bedroom to the office. Just a sea of them. And it was for a month at least every day. So I said, you know what, something's going to get in these hat boxes and eat these hats. And so I ordered some cedar planks. And not only that, but they make the hat smell good too.
Yeah. So when I grill, I like to cooking with like charcoal or wood and mesquite. I like to put it over the fire for a little bit and then put it back on. And it helps kind of mold it to your head, but also it makes it smell so much better because it can stink.
You would be surprised at how many times you're shaping a hat, somebody comes in with a hat they want touched up or something, and as soon as you hit it with steam, all you smell is marijuana. Because like wherever your hat is, it takes on that smell. And so, it does take on the smell. But so, cedar wood chips, and keep an eye out for that video coming soon. That's about all I got. Let's go to the stockyard. Do you want to?
All right, sounds good.
All right, sounds good. Thanks again to American Hat Company and Joby's Hats for making this possible and being huge supporters of the channel and Cowboy Cartel in general. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it, and it was a lot of fun.
I'm a sponsor now. You got to treat me the same way.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep. Grovel at my feet.
So if you need an American-made hat, American Hat Company is your hat of choice. It's at least mine. And if you need a quality hat shaped to perfection, Joby's Hats got you covered. Look them up online, jobyshats.com, and you can order your hat. If you don't see the hat on his webpage, call him, because they have a huge selection of hats, and they come in and out so quickly that they are not always on the website. So give them a call. They will be more than happy to look up what they have in stock, and maybe they've got what you need, and they will shape it for you and send it to your door really quickly. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you all. Let me know when it's good. Cheese.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leave that in.
What were we talking about?